In my eyes anyway. That was how I saw things and the logic that I came out of it. So I thought, okay, I don't know if I want to be a dictator, man, because that's a long, hard road of scheming and planning and doing. So the other road was actually suicide, because it didn't make sense to go down that road. And this is the other obvious solution. Everything else is just in between, waiting for time to pass. So anyway, the thing is that I was thinking about it for the longest time. I remember I was on bed one day, lying down, trying to figure out the best way to do it, painless and without so much drama. And I remember, as soon as I was thinking about it, I was lying in bed. I felt that this was to me, an invisible hand pressed over my body. I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't even move my head. The only thing I could move was my eyeballs. And I thought, maybe for a second, I thought I was in a dream, because it just didn't seem real. And then I thought, what is going on? It never happened in my life. It's never happened since. It happened like that. And okay, then for the first time in my life, because for the longest time I didn't believe in God, I didn't bother about it. But for the first time in my life, I cried out, God, if you're there, please help. And instantly the whole thing just lifted. And then I thought, and then after that happened, I got scared, because I realized, oh, there is a God. and then it was only then I actually started to believe that there is a God, and went down the road of trying to figure out the path. Yeah, so that's how it came about.
Okay, thank you, Colin, for that very very personal sharing. I'm gonna ask that question next 2 weeks to really so whether you can become dictator. Okay, Eddie is commenting whether I should get Judaism and Taoism, and it's not Mormonism and Mormonism. Yeah, in my list. If you know one, you just please tell me. I can bring him on board. I don't know them, to be truth. If there is anyone, you can you just give the contact, anything. I'll arrange for one sharing session on this issue. But we are still this level, to me, level 2 of interfaith. Now we talk about your belief, your core belief, how do you find your belief, and what I like is how that impact social issues. Which is, I think, is very timely for ENG HOE. I think it's very passionate about poverty and stuff like that. But social issues are big, Poverty is one of them, but we have a lot of issues, Of course, we're going to have this kind of discussion, I think, a bit deeper, narrow, deeper, probably with Willie, because I can't really talk people's reason. If people talk about faith, I can't really talk much. Yes, ENG HOE, probably you want to add on to by the way, Colin is member of CPHM, if you see, Christian for Peace and Harmony Malaysia. We've been doing a lot of interfaith work.
And Christian for Peace and Harmony is actually the whole idea of the organization is for Christian actually promote the peace and harmony. However, just a caveat, whatever I'm sharing today is not based on any organizations or not based on any church. It's actually all my personal experiences and beliefs. So I just want to let you know.
Thank you. If you see the posters there, that's why I put it a sharing session. I don't even call you guys speaker. Because that's quite heavy on some people, especially even myself. I just presenting myself now.
Sure.
That's why even I put sharer. Yes, ENG HOE, I know you want to speak. Go ahead, man.
What?
No, okay. Basically,
ask me some questions, because otherwise I could go all over the world.
All right, sorry. Those who are listening, basically the format is like, I want to know a bit more about both of the speakers, of both of the sharers. To me, that's a baseline. This is second line is knowing about their core belief, which is, I think, ENG HOE will discuss shortly. What are the core belief of all this religion? To me, in certain sense, I'm a Muslim because from my religion, that's where I derive my values, my belief, my purpose of life, my objective in life. So by knowing each other, I think that's a little bit deep that you know. But of course, I also want to know your, like ENG HOE said, your lenses. No? We are seeing things from many lenses. No? That's why you are biased. We are very prejudiced in certain sense and whatnot. We try to open all the spectacles bit by bit. And at the end of the day, I think we can always agree to disagree respectfully. Okay, ENG HOE, probably you just want to, I'll get back to you, Colin.
Sure.
ENG HOE probably from, Buddhism, because I think we jump here and there. It's just that one question that's from last week, if you watch my video, there is one question from, I'll just straight to you, from Dr. Oi Hinbeng, one of the speaker. He asked me, he asked Christian. He asked the Christian and the Muslim. So how can the all-loving God will put a good man into hell, just for not believing, in that sense? So probably you can answer that. At least, I've done this is your first. Just because you're from Buddhist, right? You jump there. So
yeah. Well, I became a Christian at the age of 16. And so before that, all of us who are still young, we don't really know much about our religion, So when you in school, you fill up, religion. So Chinese, you feel Buddhist, right? But actually, I think most Chinese do not really know what is Buddhism. Yeah. So I didn't know much about Buddhism. Only after I became a Christian, I studied a bit about Buddhism. Can't say I know much about Buddhism, but I studied it a bit. And I found that actually it did not answer my questions about life. Because we all, everything has an origin, right? We did not make ourselves. We did not come from nowhere. When you look at a watch, there is a watchmaker. A watch didn't put itself together, right? So Buddhism cannot answer that question. There are many other things that, okay, I don't want to go into that, but the point is that, the point is that more directly to that question, how can God, all-loving God, send someone to hell? Now, actually, it is not so much God sending anyone to hell. God actually, in the Bible, God gives us an option, right? And the option is choose life or choose death. Now, God is a designer. He's the original designer, all right? So everything has a design. Our bodies have a design, the washing machine, your car, right? And it functions according to the design that has been designed by the designer. Now, the car or the washing machine, if it could talk, it cannot ask, why did you design me this way?
Okay.
I don't like this.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
The thing is, the designer gives us free will. That's part of the design as well, to choose. So it's actually not God sending us to hell. It is we choosing whether to go with the design or to go against the design. And if we go against the design, we are going into injury, damage, destruction, whatever, you know what I mean? I mean, imagine...
ENG HOE, sorry to interrupt you. I totally agree. I mean, the Islam, the Muslim, basically, we share the same view on that. No, the thing is, this topic is very deep, actually. I'm going to invite Dr. Uy to come on board just to discuss on this thing. I want people to be on board and we discuss respectfully on this thing. To me, this is a very valid question from him. And also, I think also invite Willie just to talk on that thing, whether is it rational to believe in the existence of God? Of course, say which God? There are many gods. Why yours? Why not mine? There are 10,000 religions over there. So one of the topics you see my poll is whether it is more rational to believe in God or not. So we're going to discuss that.
Yeah.
Because I want to give him a fair chance to put his views on that. But so okay. I'll go back into that thing as well. Just that deeper, we'll go into that. Okay. I'm more than happy. We'll bring him as well, and really, we're gonna have session on that. Very interesting. So basically, there must be, you said the washing machine, everything, we cannot come from nothing, and everything, the world's played, there's some kind of order, So that's basically even the Muslim argument. It's just that we have to argue which God is the true God, something like that. I mean, we will go into that. Okay, there is a question actually from Sun Haji. He said, can you explain what is itinerant Christian mean, ENG HOE? Sorry. I also don't know. Seriously, I don't know that before I met you.
Okay. It means that I'm not a formal preacher, speaker that has been ordained by the church. I don't, as I go around giving teaching and training, I'm not doing in the name of, representing any church or denomination. Yeah. Like right now, I'm speaking like an itinerant. I'm not representing the churches of Malaysia or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing my own personal journey. So itinerant means you go from place to place, and there's nothing formal or official.
Yeah, but when I Google it after I met you, itinerant is more linked to preacher. They go one place to place where they preach, sometimes over months and stuff like that. I thought that's why initially I put your title as Christian preacher. You said no, just put itinerant.
No,
actually, and that itinerant to me also interesting in the sense that, of course, after I said which church are you from, so I normally people associate them with a particular church. When you said no, I don't belong to any church. Okay, so that makes our conversation interesting. So that's why I want to know more about how you see things. In that sense,
I'm out of the box, as it were.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. That is very good. So see, at least you're a thinking person. That's why I can talk to you more. But when people say it's all about faith, I think that's where we stop. I mean, we cannot argue on that. No?
Yeah.
We cannot argue on that. I don't want to argue anyway. Okay, there is a question from Angeline. Also my good friend. So very active. I don't share with the group. No, this thing. It's okay. Colin, when you saw the light and identified it with Jesus, why didn't you go back to Catholicism to rediscover your faith with fresh eyes? Thanks for your openness.
Okay. Well, actually, I did. I went back to the Catholic Church. I was also okay. I was actually looking, just going from various churches to actually understand as well, because my whole idea wasn't so much to be in part of any. It was more to actually understand God better. So I was looking, and then a friend of mine invited me to come and join her, like a cell group, just for me to get better understanding. So then from there, it just took on from there lah. So the thing is that I know I don't want to have this thing where we are actually all separated, because I think there's already enough separation from each other. So it's just that I decided to go down that road, because I got more understanding and a better outlook of who God is and who God is to me. So that's why. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, Angeline. Again, Shahrul, God does put us in hell. We put ourselves there. We use our free will. Okay. Okay, this is again, Angeline said, God does not put us in hell. We put ourselves due to that free will. Of course, this is also the same with Islam belief. We have the free will, so we choose which one, which religion or which God. In essence, the Christian and Muslim, we are pretty much similar, at least on 70% of the whatever teachings of the belief. We just differ on certain things. Yes, anyway, correct. Thank you, Angeline. At least you put some comments there, so we can drive my my visibility on my page. I'm trying to inspire more people to be able to talk openly like this. Because to me, at the end of the day, like I've told you guys, I've told all the previous, believers, faith. At I said no one can say that he's right and you're wrong. Okay, that is the basis. No, and no one can claim that they have the absolute truth. No, no one. No, you know. And the spirit of discussion is for us to be able to, like ENG HOE put it, put down our glasses, our lenses. You know, try to be as open and objective as possible. Of course, we do have many lenses. You know. And try to bring evidence, you know, try to argue whether that belief will have. That's why, again, if you see only this one, I think I'm a bit more talking much because you know, at the end of the day, to me, how that belief, you know, can make this world a better place. You know, how can that belief will solve social issues? You know? I always go through that route. You know, again, you can argue and I can argue. Yeah, it's really up to us. You decide, you know, as long as we have shared that, that's okay. Yeah, Colin, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was just agreeing to what you're saying. So yeah, please carry on.
So, but I just want it to be, you know, because one thing I think as Hasmit Hasmit Charles, one of the, you know, listener, one of my good friend as well. Before that I didn't know him. In our first one, World Interfaith Harmony Week, he asked, you know, he was a bit confused when the religions all talk about good things, you know, but can they all be true, you know?
Right.
But my I don't know, my this is also very deep topic and sensitive in many ways. But my answer to that is it's quite illogical for it to be all true, but it can be all false. That's how I see it now. It can be all false, but it cannot be all true because we all have different ways of looking at things, especially Islam. I know that, you know. I think Christians also do. They have different ways. And we can discuss on that thing in deeper way. It's very deep. I think 3 days, 3 nights also cannot finish. All right. With that, okay. Okay. Eddie also, Buddhism has story of where we come from. Mr. Eng should look at the teaching called the dependent of origination. Yeah, Eddie, thank you for that comment, but we'll go into that specific deep. But now I just like ENG HOE. When I talked to him last week, he draw, you know, a circles, you know, like, you know, anak panah arrow said, how deep you want to go? I said, you just take me. I follow you. Of course, he said, but for us to go deep, we have to be very narrow and specific and just go into that. But at least now I just want to touch base first to cover the basic teaching first. And then you go to some social issues. Then we go a little bit deeper. And of course, we have, in the future, we're going to specific, but we go deep. We call all people, okay? That's the thing. And I will call Dr. Uy to come on board. Probably he didn't teach you well when you were 16 or 17 years old. You didn't see the Buddhism as what you're supposed. But to be very fair, you know, to be very fair to all people, you know, even the Muslim, you seem very structured, very rigid. You know. I believe 80% of us, we are religious. 80%, or I want to be blunt, more than 90%. We are being religious because we are born and conditioned in that religion. Right. And the atheists actually the one who really think about their religion, you know.
Right.
I to be very fair, I'm at 40 plus. Only then I been able to answer some of the difficult question, like the question by Dr. Uy. Will my good friend Dr. Uy will go to hell? So we don't put that, no, but we discuss here. Okay, sorry. This is why I don't want to talk much, you know. When it's not fair. I'm supposed to listen more, you know. That's why I wish to know what makes you, Colin, convinced that the Protestant is more closer to the truth. This one is a bit deep. Can you just, Guy, talk about what you're supposed to talk, the core belief, then we go to the social issue. Then we talk about the truth. The truth is very deep.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, certainly. Well, ENG HOE, well, perhaps maybe I'll just start off with just a few of the core beliefs that we decided to speak about. Then after that, maybe we can actually go, you know, give a few examples about what's it all about. So ENG HOE, do you want to just talk about the 5 points? Then maybe I can start off with the first one. I mean, that means, yeah, you just by just explaining that. I mean, naming the 5 points that we want to talk about. Then after that,
because time is limited. Because of time constraints.
Correct.
I think let me just mention what we think are 5 core beliefs of Christians in relation to social issues. Okay, because there are many other issues, but in relation to social issues, these are the 5. Okay, first, the world can only be changed by love. Okay. Second, Jesus came to show us God's love and to restore us back into his kingdom. Okay, back to original design. Third, the motivation for social engagement is love, not religion. Okay.
That is second point. Sorry. First.
That's the third point.
Third point, motivation is love. First is to change the world is love. Sorry.
The world can only be changed by love.
Okay, one.
That's an objective statement.
All right, okay, one.
Second, Jesus came to show us God's love.
Jesus come to show. Okay, Jesus come to show God's love. Okay.
And to restore us back. Restore us back to be in his kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. Third is the motivation for social engagement is actually love, not religion. I'll explain why later. Okay. What I mean by that and why. Okay. And the fourth is we need to return to God's original design, where we are united back to God and with each other. Okay. And the fifth thing is that inner change will lead to outer change. So you cannot change the inside by just trying to change the outside. It has to be inside first, then outside, not outside, then inside. You know what I mean? Yeah, the other way around. Okay, religion is more about from outside to inside, whereas in Christianity, we believe that the heart has to be changed first. When the heart is changed, then the outer external social interaction.
Yeah, it'll flow automatically. Yeah.
Flow automatically.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Colin will elaborate on the first point, and then I will elaborate on the second
you've
point.
done. Sorry.
Sure.
My God, sorry, I cannot concentrate. I was actually looking at the comments. Okay, here. Okay. One is world cannot be changed by love. Jesus shows the love. The third one is motivation. Is love, not religion. And the fourth and fifth. Sorry.
We need to return to God's original design.
Return to God. Number 4.
One with God and one with each other.
Yeah, original design.
Okay, original design. Probably you need to explain this. And number 5?
And number 5, that outer change comes from inner change.
Okay, outer change from inner change. Okay. I totally agree with all the 5 so far. No problem. We are with you, man. 200%. Okay.
Great.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Colin.
So anyway, I will just elaborate the first one. And it's actually a very simple thing to understand. You see it says the world. I mean, one of the core beliefs that the world can only be changed through love, and what that entails is that, in most cases, even when I was younger, or even how I see things happening right now, whenever somebody does something wrong, we actually, that means somebody does something wrong to us, we actually come back with another level of escalation, and then we want to get back that person for doing the wrong thing that actually happened to us. So, and then what actually happens is it actually creates, so a very simple thing could be something like this. I say something wrong to that person goes back and then studies, and then comes back and then says something wrong. So it hurts me because I've hurt him. And then now I don't like what he says. I throw him a first punch, and then he comes back with a gang, beats me up, and I come back with an organization and then hits him. It's a vicious cycle that is never ending. It's actually called escalation. So each time we actually do something wrong, the other person doesn't come back with the same level. It comes back at an additional level. It's called escalation. It's a terminology. It's always used in war. It's escalations of war, and so it always leads to anger, bitterness, resentment, hatred, and of course revenge. That's it guarantees the world more suffering, and it always And so one of the things that goes down this road is actually, it leads to poverty as well. I mean, that's a different thing altogether, but I just want to touch a bit about it. And the only way to break this cycle is somebody has got to start with love. Somebody's got to do it, whether that side or this side, somebody's got to do it. So
It's better
love,
be you, man, to start first.
yeah, correct. It better be us, because we are the ones who can choose. Correct, you're absolutely right. So, love, which entails forgiveness and sacrifice. So when we mean by sacrifice is that we are required to sacrifice our, because we cannot win, right? If you win, the other person will come up with another level of escalation. So we sacrifice our win so that the other person can win. So I mean, I just want to explain that once, because the world can only be changed by love, and love is not a, it's like this lovey-dovey thing. It's actually a lot of sacrifice involved, and a lot of, and definitely forgiveness. So I would pass the second point over to Eng Ho, then maybe let him explain why we say Jesus came to show God's love. So I pass it over to you, Eng Ho.
Okay, very good. I like what, because you change, not one person talking. No, that's good, because we need the variety of. Yes, Eng Ho.
Active, like wrestling,